yes, girl. How to pay here for?
You ask no money. You are old man.
What are you doing? Shh, be quiet. Here comes my favorite part.
What? No money? Here, suck a cock.
Man, that joke never gets old. Okay? Well, anyway, I bought you this stuffed flower earlier today, and...
Keep that flower away from me!
Wait, what? Stay the fuck back. I'm telling you, stay the fuck back. But dude, it's only a flower. I mean, flowers can't hurt you. This is your last warning. Keep that flower away from me. You do realize that's a toy sword. You know that, right? I don't care. All I know is that flower is trying to kill me. And I can't let that happen. I won't let that happen. I must kill Flowey. I will not stop. I swear on my grave I will not stop until that flower is... Wait, Flowey? Did you play Undertale? No? Are you sure? Maybe? I mean, you don't think flowers can hurt you, right? It could try. Listen, Undertale is a video game, not real life. This flower can't hurt you at all. I mean, all it does, it sits there and does nothing. And plus, look at the way how it smiles. It's adorable! You're right. I mean, what am I even doing? This flower can't hurt you or anyone in that matter. I'm sorry if I went too over the top there. Oh, that's alright. Keep that flower away from me! Keep it away! You are one sad, strange little man. That's it. I officially hate flowers. Well, I guess that's what happens when you play a game called Undertale. Oh man, Undertale. I don't think this game needs any introduction whatsoever. Undertale is a retro-style JRPG game that was inspired by older role-playing games like Earthbound, for example. It is classified as an indie title, but this little game instantly became popular and has even been nominated for the Game of the Year award. What's really interesting about Undertale is that it was developed by one person only, along with some help. And that was Toby Fox, who was also the publisher and the composer as well. I'll be honest, I did saw a bit of gameplay about this game on other YouTubers' videos, but I'd never really gone to sit down and actually play the game for myself. Well, thanks to Crash Spyro Fan, it's finally time to take a look at this game. Now, a lot of people do consider Undertale as the best game ever made, so let's see what I think about this game. And with you guys watching the video, it fills me up with determination. No pun intended. And with that said, let's review Undertale. Published and developed by Toby Fox, Undertale was released in 2015. and was released on PC, and was also released on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita in 2017. Let's just pray for an Xbox One version in 2018. And just before the review begins, there will be a fair bit of spoilers ahead. If you don't want to be spoiled, please leave the video immediately. Then play the game for yourself, then come back later to this video. Seriously, you'll thank me later. Before you play the game, you have a prologue explaining that long ago, humans and monsters have been battling each other. In the end, the humans won and sealed the monsters away using a magic barrier. Many years gone by and we see the human child climbing up Mount Ebott. The child accidentally slips and falls into the underground. And that's where our game begins. We see a flower called Flowey the Flower. He sees that the human is not around from here and tries to help the child. Until he tricks you and states that in this world, it's kill or be killed. Man, what a fucking asshole Flowey is. Before Flowey tries to kill the child, along comes Toriel, saving us and taking the child to her home. She later realizes that the human just wants to go back home. In order for your character to go home, he has to cross the barrier located at the castle where King Asgore lives. With the journey all set, the fallen human goes out on an adventure to find his way back home. I could talk more about the story, but if I say one more thing about it, then I could be spoiling the game for you. Nevertheless, the story is amazing. It delivers some nice pacing, some nice tension for the player, and throughout the game, you'll learn the secrets to why monsters and humans can't get along. The story can seem to drag at times, but if there's one thing that I love about Undertale, it's the characters. They fit the story very well, and even the small minor characters are probably some of my favorite characters in this game. You get to meet monsters such as Undyne, a fish-like monster that leads the royal guard, Papyrus, a skeleton that wants to capture humans so he can be popular and everyone's friend. He's also a fan favorite by the way, and Sans, Papyrus's brother, and he also delivers some pretty bad but hilarious puns. So I guess you can call this game Undertale? Speaking of some puns, the comedy is kinda a hit or a miss for me. Sometimes it works and it makes me laugh, and sometimes it doesn't and it comes off as cringeworthy in my opinion. The gameplay sees you inside a little box playing as a soul, and you have to dodge enemies' attacks. It isn't hard like Cuphead's difficulty, but at times it can bring a challenge for even the best experienced video gamers out there. Each enemy has a different attack, and all of them are different, but sometimes it can get a bit repetitive. But some battles different from others, like Undyne for example. And the more you progress into the game, the more challenging the enemy's attacks will be. What's really cool about the battle gameplay is not only you can fight monsters, but you can also talk to them and even use your mercy to spare them or just flee away. And if I may add something, talking to the creatures are a lot more fun than fighting them, as you can get some pretty funny dialogue, like this dog for example. The more you pet it, the longer his head goes. And the more you use your act button, you can see how much the writing shines in that aspect. If you get damaged in the battle, you can heal your character with different food items you see along your journey, and you can also pick up or purchase armor or weapons at shops like this guy who looks like he's getting nutted. One of my highlights about Undertale is that when you kill someone that you feel bad about, and when you reload your save just to not kill that monster, the game will call you out on it. Every time you start a new save file, it remembers everything that you did. Man, I just love those types of games when it focuses on attention to detail. And throughout the game, it does break the fourth wall and it has a few side missions every now and then, but it never loses track of the main plot. The designs of each level looks good. You get to explore around the ruins, Snowdin, Waterfall and Hotland, and accompanied by one of the best retro soundtracks in recent memory, it really becomes an enjoyable RPG experience. And speaking of the soundtrack, good lord, the soundtrack is fucking fantastic. If I had the opportunity to change my top 10 favorite soundtracks in video games, this would easily make the top 3. The puzzles in this game aren't really that hard when you think about it, but it can be challenging at times. But that shouldn't affect the overall score, because it is nice to have a bit of challenge in video games. In terms of replay value, it offers a ton of that, having nearly up to 25 different endings and the game encouraging you to play Undertale again, but this time, finishing the game without killing every monster in the pacifist run, or playing through the game killing anything that moves in the genocide run. And each time you do something different leads to a completely new storyline and some new dialogue as well. The gameplay you're seeing is on the PlayStation 4, and in case you're wondering, it does have a trophy list with a platinum trophy. It's pretty easy to get all the trophies, and it could take up to 2 to 3 hours just to unlock the platinum. If you have seen other people's reviews about Undertale, then you would have heard at least everyone else talking about this next topic I'm about to go through. And that is the fan base. Just so that we're clear about this, I don't hate the fan base, and I'm not going to give this game a score with the only con being the fan base, because that'll be absolutely ridiculous. But this does need to be addressed. Let's be honest, the reason why Undertale has a huge fan base is because everyone loves this game, and that's fine, and I can respect their opinion. You can find and see a bunch of fan-made boss battles, and some pretty weird fan art as well, but when you have a giant fan base around a video game, movie, or a comic book, it can ruin the hype. You see, you have other YouTubers posting and uploading every boss battle and every single dialogue in Undertale because they think it's cool, or they want to get hundreds and thousands of views, which I can see why, but all they're doing is ruining this game for the potential new fans. No one wants to give a game like Undertale a try because the fan base are constantly spoiling the game, telling people exactly what to do and how to play, and they'll start to get overwhelmed by it. And when you have people saying one or two flaws about this game, they will accept no criticism and they will verbally assault you on social media, all because they don't agree with what you think about Undertale. But here is where some people are missing the point. We live in a world where everybody has a different opinion about anything. Some people may disagree, but that's just the way how life goes. I honestly would rather have everyone having different opinions than everyone liking or hating the same thing. Because if everybody around the world liked everything, then the world would become boring in my opinion. So Undertale has been overhyped as fuck, but that's not the only game that's been overhyped because of the fan base. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is another game for example. Before it was released on shelves, everyone was already praising this game as the best video game remade ever. While it technically was, they still wouldn't accept any criticism from anyone. And even when someone said that it might not be as good as the original, they will still call you a bitch for having a different opinion. Unfortunately, I was spoiled during the neutral run, but luckily I played through the pacifist and even the genocide run without being spoiled, and I really had a great time. Because if I played this game with the fan base beside me, then I probably would have a different view on Undertale. Just to be clear once again, I don't hate the fan base at all. I just wish that some people can stop shoving spoilers down people's throats and let them find out for themselves. There's a saying in video games, and that is learn the game as little as possible to get the most out of the experience. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you want to try out Undertale, then I strongly suggest you play this game without knowing everything. Play this game with an open, clear and empty mind, and only then you will get the best experience that Undertale offers. I understand that this game isn't everyone's cup of tea, and if you're looking for a first-person shooter game, you'll probably have to skip this game. But if you do decide to give it a try, what you'll get is a good retro JRPG game filled with some fantastic characters you'll adore. But back to the question mentioned earlier. Is Undertale the best game ever made? Well, no. Because I do feel that there is a game out there that is the best game ever made. But is it one of the best games in 2015? Maybe. And once again, I'm not going to give this game a score based on its fanbase, because if I did, then this whole review would be pointless. Every video game isn't perfect, and that goes for Undertale as well. I know that a lot of people do consider Undertale as something special, and well, I can definitely see that it is something special, but it doesn't change the fact that I still have to give this game a fair score. Undertale gets 7 out of 10. It's a good game, nothing more and nothing less. The characters are great and the soundtrack is orgasmic. I could have given this game an 8, a 9, or even a perfect 10, but when you really think about it, it is the same retro JRPG style that we all have seen before. The combat can get repetitive at times, the story can drag in certain areas, and even along with the toxic fanbase flowing around this game, it can easily ruin an interest for anyone wanting to give this game a try. But if I can be serious for a minute, what is Undertale really about? Well, based on my multiple playthroughs, I think Undertale is a game about you and how you interact with all these creatures you come across. Do you choose to talk to them and be nice, or will you decide to murder everything and anyone that stands in your way? This game pretty much teaches you to be kind to everyone, no matter how bizarre they look or how strange they sound, and that's something we can relate to in the real world. And coming back to the comment earlier from Crash Spyro fan saying that he's unsure of giving this game a try. Look, I'll be honest, Undertale is a really hard game to recommend to people, as they may have been warned out from the fanbase. So if you want to give Undertale a try, then give it a shot. If you don't want to play it because of the story, then play it for its writing. If you don't want to play for its writing, then play it for its characters. And if you don't want to play it because of the characters, then play it for its soundtrack. Cause honestly, this game reminded me that I still have human emotions. If you want to play Undertale, then go right ahead. And if you don't, well, that's fine too, because as I've stated before that this game isn't for everyone. But however, this game does come with a warning. If you want to give Undertale a chance, then play the game as you have never heard it before in your life. Well, if there's something that you need to know about me, is that I always give something back in return. So with that said, the next game I'm going to review is a long anticipated and overdue review in SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Thank you for watching this review, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe today. My name's the Gaming Critic, telling you to keep calm and keep playing video games.